Hey guys, today we are diving back into some linear equations, but today I'm going to be showing you how to solve these linear systems of equations with a calculator. I'm going to be showing you the technical way to say is solving linear systems using matrices. Now, a matrices is simply just the way we communicate with our calculator about these systems of equations, and so it's a specific language. So, for instance, if I have x plus 3y equals -1, 2x plus y equals 2, this is what we call a 2 by 3 matrices, okay? And we're thinking about the amount of numbers we have. Well, we line up my x's, we line up my y's, and we line up my whole numbers, and this is how we tell my calculator what the system of equations we want to solve is. We go my x's first, my y's second, and my whole numbers, and you'll see we have a 1 in front of this x, and so I have a 1 here, a 2 here, my y's lined up, we'll have another 1 right here, so a 3 and a 1, and then a -1 and a 2. So we need to make sure that our equations lined up with our matrices. Second, over here, this is a 3 by 4 matrix. So this is a x, a y, and a z. So we line up my x's, line up my y's, line up my z's, and it's very important that we make sure that they are lined up, okay? So my x's are lined up, my y's are lined up, my z's are lined up, and we're just matching the numbers with what I have in my matrices, and my whole numbers are all the same there. This is a 3 by 4 matrix. Okay, so once again, we have my x's, my y's. My dimensions for this matrix right here is a 2 by 3. This one is a 3 by 4. Now, these matrices are what we call solution matrices, okay? Or solution matrix, all right? Because it only has one x, you notice we have a 0 for y, and it has a 1 for y and a 0 for x. This is what we're trying to get our calculator to spit out for us. It's going to give us the answer. Look at this. We have 1x equals, well, whatever my whole number is right there. So x would equal, in this case, a or b or whatever, okay? And so that's how we get our answers for these. And I'm going to show you a bit more about that in detail later. But let's go ahead. Let's write some matrices here real quick, okay? So we're going to get some practice writing out these matrices. So this first matrix, I'm going to go ahead and build this left bracket here, okay? And with that left bracket, we're going to be like, okay, first and foremost, we always check and see, are my x's and my y's lined up? And in this case, it's not. So that's our first thing. Warning, watch the order of the variables. They must be in the same column. So my x's and y's here aren't lined up. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to switch these two. So I'm going to rewrite this little guy as -4x plus 5y equals -7. Now my x's, now my y's, now my whole numbers are in the same order. So that's very important. So now when I write this in here, when I write this in my matrix, we're going to go a -4. There are no commas when we write in our matrix, okay? No commas. We just put our numbers in there. So it's -4, 5, -7. The next one is 3, -7, 15. Okay? So 3, -7, 15. All right, and then we're going to close off our matrix. Now, I'm going to show you how to plug that matrix into your calculator in a little bit, but we just had to take some practice writing it out for ourselves. Okay, our other matrix over here on this other side. First, we check and see, are my x's, my y's, and my z's lined up? Unfortunately, these guys are not, right? Look, these x's lined up, these y's lined up, but these two need to be flipped. And this one is all discombobulated. So I'm going to come over here, we're going to rewrite this guy, and we're going to add 12 and -7z, okay? So it's going to be 1x plus 8y plus 7z equals +12. Sorry, this shouldn't be a plus 7z. It should be a minus 7z, right? Because we had to minus the 7z to this side, add the 12 to this side. So we're going to minus the 7z. This one's all in the right order. We have x, y, z, equal sign, whole number. So we're just going to write this over again just to make it lined up over here. 5x plus 9y plus 5z equals 15. And then my last one. We're going to rewrite this in the correct order. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite this with my x in front. So we're going to have a negative 8x in front. My y is still in the middle, so we're going to have a negative 3y. And then I'm going to have a plus 6z over here with my 1. Okay, so now let's write the matrix for this. So this is a 3 by 4 matrix whenever we plug that into my calculator. But on top, we're going to have a 1 because there's an invisible 1 right there. An 8. Remember, no commas. No commas. A negative 7 and a 12. So there's my first one. My next one is a 5, a 9, a 5, and a 15. This next one is negative 8, negative 3, 6, and 1. So there is my matrix there that we have written out. Once again, I'll show you how to plug this into your calculator in just a second, but this is just practice writing our matrices. Okay, let's go to our next page. And you'll notice I already have these numbers written from my matrices. So we're kind of going the opposite direction here. And so you'll see we have my x's, my y's, my whole numbers. So this is the system of equations from the matrix. Here I have system of equations. Now you'll notice, if you ever see a 0 in here, that just means that we don't have one of those. Okay? So, actually made a mistake here. This shouldn't be a y because we don't have any y's on that one. It should be a z. So look, here I don't have any x's. I just have y's and 2 z's. Here I have one of each, or I mean something in all three. Here I have an x. I don't have a y, but I do have a z. So it kind of matches up that way. All right? Okay. But these two, these are called solution matrices. Okay? So if I don't have a y here, if I don't have a y, and this is just an x, this is my y, this is my whole numbers, then we're just going to have x equals 4. And once again, if I don't have an x here and I just have a y, we're just going to have 1y equals negative 6. So this is why it's called my solution matrix. It's because it just gives me the solution. And this is what we're trying to get it to. The same thing's true for this guy down here. Same thing's true here. Look, we have x's, y's, z's, and my whole numbers. So this one we have 1x equals, and we don't have a y, don't have a z, so we don't write those in there. 1x equals negative 5, 1y equals 8, and 1z equals 2. Okay? So that's basically all there is to that. All right. So let's go down here, and let's talk about how many solutions we can have. We can have one solution, no solution, or infinite solutions, just like the regular system of equations. We just have to be able to recognize what it is whenever it happens. Look at this guy here. This is a solution matrix. It's already solved for. My x equals 5, my y equals 2, and my z equals 3. This is one big coordinate, so this is just one solution. Okay, on this next one, look at this guy. It is x equals 5, y equals 2. Oh, but then we don't have anything on this side at all. It's just 0 equals 3. Well, 0 can't equal 3. So this is no solution. Okay? Something very similar is true over here. Look, we have x equals 5. We have y equals 2. But then we have 0 equals 0. Well, 0 does equal 0, right? So this is infinite solutions. All right? So we kind of skipped these three right here. But you can go on to the notes, or you can pause this, and you can keep looking at that. But it's pretty much the same thing, okay? One solution, no solution, infinite solutions. Okay, so let's actually get some practice in. Let us solve this for ourselves, okay? So let's go down here. Here is a system of equations, okay? And we're going to write the matrix for this, and then I'm going to show you how to solve it. All right? So, my matrix for this, we're going to build this out. First, we check and see if they're written in the correct order. We have my x's, my y's, my z's, my whole number. So they're written in the correct order. Second, we're going to write out our matrix. We're going to go 3, 2, negative 1, 11. 2, negative 1, 2, negative 3, 1, 3, negative 1, 8. Okay, so here is our matrix. Now, I'm going to show you how to put this matrix into the calculator and to find our solution matrix. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up this calculator so you can see. Hopefully you wrote down that matrix somewhere so you can practice plugging this into your calculator. I have my written down version right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first and foremost, there's all the steps on the top of these notes. So if you need to go back in the video and look at this, go for it. But what I'm going to do first and foremost, we see this blue matrix here on the left side. It's above the x negative 1. That's where we're going to be playing in. So we're going to go second matrix. Then we're going to go over twice to edit. I'm going to click enter, and you can see there's already kind of a matrix that I put in here. But this matrix is not a 2 by 3. It is a 3 by 4. So I'm going to hit 3, enter, 4, enter. So it creates a matrix that is a 3 by 4. Now I'm going to just put my numbers in here. I'm going to go 3, enter, 2, enter, negative 1, enter, 11, enter, 2, enter, negative 1, enter, 2, enter, negative 3. And I'm going to go 1, enter, 3, enter, negative 1, enter, 8, enter. So now I have my matrix all filled out. Now this next part is really important, okay? We have to exit out of this matrix so that way I can use it. I have edited this matrix and now we're going to try to simplify it and I'm going to show you how to do that. But next part's really important. We're going to have to go second, quit. There's that blue quit right there. And so if we go second quit, it's going to take me back to my main page. And so now I can go second and go back to matrix, okay? And now I'm going to show you the system, the program that we're going to use to simplify this matrix down. So I'm going to go over to math, and we're going to go down all the way to B. Okay, so I need to be clear here on the number of buttons. Anyways, we're going to go to B, which is reduced row echelon form. Okay, and we hit enter. So I'm telling my calculator, run this program, and the calculator is asking me, what matrix do you want to use for this? And so we have to go back and we have to choose the matrix that we submitted earlier, that we created. So I'm going to go back to matrix, and I'm going to click, oh, this A one that I edited earlier, it's 3 by 4. That's the one that we created. We're going to click enter. And so this is what you should see, reduced row echelon form with matrix A, and that matrix A is the one that we edited earlier. And so then I hit enter again, and it spits out my solution matrix. Okay, so it spits out this solution matrix of x equals 2, y equals 1, z equals negative 3. Okay, so it's going to be 2, 1, negative 3. So we're going to go back to our notes, and we're going to write in my solution matrix. And remember, it was 2, 1, negative 3, right? So it was 1, 0, 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 3. So what does that mean? It means that x equals 2, okay, y equals 1, and z equals negative 3. Okay, so you'll notice down here that this one's already filled out. It is in your notes, okay? But we're not going to take the time to do it all together, but if you want to practice, take a look at this in your notes. All right, the same thing goes for number 6. It's already done for you. So our last one that we're going to do is this word problem down here about this stadium. So a stadium has 49,000 seats. The number of seats in section A equals, so 49,000 seats. So section A, B, and C all equal 49,000. Now it also says section A equals the total number of seats in B and C. So A equals B plus C because A is a lot bigger. Now it costs $25 for each seat in A. We can see that here. Okay. Costs $20 for each seat in B. and it costs $15 for each seat in C. And all of these, when it's ever sold out, is $1,052. $1,052,000. Okay, so we're going to need to write a matrix for this, so that way we can solve it. So what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, we're going to check and see if A, B, and C and my whole numbers lined up. And they're not, right? The top one and the bottom one are, but this A equals B plus C doesn't work. So we're going to change this to be A minus B minus C equals 0. We're going to minus B to the other side, minus C to the other side. So now we have three things. We're going to ignore this guy. We have three ones that work. So we're going to write our matrix for this. My matrix is going to be 1, 1, 1, 49,000. It's going to be 1, negative 1, because there's a negative 1 in front of this B, negative 1 in front of this C. And then we're going to have 0. And then we're going to have 25, 20, 15, and 1 million. We don't want commas. Okay, don't want commas in our matrix. We're going to get 1,052,000. Okay, so here is my matrix. All right, so now I'm going to plug that matrix in. So I'm going to go back to my calculator and we're going to plug this matrix in. So we're going to go second matrix. We're going to go over twice to edit, and we're going to edit the one that we edited earlier, which is A. It's still going to be a 3 by 4 matrix, but now we're going to have different numbers to put in. We're going to put in the matrix that we just created. We're going to put 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, 49,000, enter. And we're going to go 1, enter, negative 1, enter, negative 1, enter, 0, 25, enter, 20, enter, 15, enter, 1 million. Oops. No. 1,052,000. Okay, so there is my matrix. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to exit out, right? We have to hit this quit. So we're going to go second, quit, and then I'm going to go back to my matrix, and I'm going to choose which program to run. And this time I'm going to go up to make it quicker. So we're going to go up to letter B, reduced row echelon form. Going to hit enter there, and that's the program we're running. But now I got to go tell it to use letter A. So I'm going to go back to matrix. We're going to click on A. We're going to hit enter, and we're going to get reduced row echelon form for A. Hit enter again, and it's going to give me my answers. Okay, so here are my answers. So let's go back to our thing and let's plug these in. So it told me that section A is 24,500. It told me section B is 14,400. And it told me that section C is 10,100. Okay, our last question. How many seats are available in section B and C combined? Well, we're going to have 24,500. All right, something I didn't mention at the start of this video. If you're like, what the heck, where's the calculator? Remember, there's a link on the home page and at the start of this lesson that can get you the calculator for your Chromebook. But then also, make sure that you go back and take a look at the rest of these notes and get a picture of your homework uploaded. If you're not able to get that calculator or do it, just focus on rewriting and doing all that, and send me an email, let me know, and we'll get it figured out, okay? All right, guys, hope you have a good rest of your day.